What's going on, everybody? I'm Will the Greatest, and I'm your host for this podcast where we talk things art, culture, and entertainment, but more specifically, pop culture entertainment. Yeah, it's been a while. We got a lot of news. See how much of this episode is going to actually end up with our cameras on. But with me, I got some fun and funky young brothers here. That's a throwback. That's a reference to my guest co-host on a completely different show. But with me this week, we have Luke DeVille.
What's up, guys? How you doing? Did my little salute there. Am I cool yet?
Hello, fellow kids.
Yeah, exactly.
We also have Ron.
What's up, y'all? I'm in this motherfucker with my massage gun. Get ready to be soothed, cleansed. You're welcome. Yep, I said it.
And Nick, you sticking around? You wanna say hello? You staying or going? Okay, I guess he's gone. He might take his reprieve.
He's gone. Well,
he's deceased.
He's one with the void.
One with the force.
But yeah, it's been a while. I've talked with y'all, but I haven't talk with y'all like this. How have things been? How have y'all been the past couple of weeks? It's been what, I think 3 weeks since I last put out an episode.
Probably around that.
Oh, damn.
Probably. How have y'all been doing?
I've been good. I've been working a lot. Going on a trip pretty soon that I'm pretty hyped for. And yeah, finally caught up on Rick and Morty today.
Oh, okay.
It was good. The season was up and down, but overall, really enjoyed it. But me as a person,
I like the season.
There were some episodes. There were some hits. There were some hits for me, and definitely some misses. Like the finale.
Oh, sorry. I remember because you messaged me directly about the 2 episodes that you hated.
Which ones did I hate? I don't remember.
The one with the baby.
Oh yeah. Because
you texted me, you said this might be the worst episode in the whole show. I'm like, what makes it worse is I watched it backwards, so I saw the one after it and then the one before it by accident.
Oh.
And I'm like, well, that's a little weird, but and then I saw the one before it. I'm like, oh, this is what he was talking about. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, no, that episode was probably the worst episode of the series for sure.
The Planetarium.
Have you caught up on Rick and Morty, Luke?
I watched the first episode when it first came out. I haven't watched anything else outside of that because I was waiting for it all to kind of finish. I don't know how many more they have yet.
It's only 13.
They just finished. It's 10 episodes a season.
So they just finished.
They just finished actually.
Yeah. Okay. Fairly recently.
Okay,
yeah.
I'll go back and I'll kind of finish it up. I was watching Solar Opposites instead.
How was that one? I've maybe watched an episode of it.
It's a lot dumber. It's it's way dumber, but I think sorry, I think that's a good and a bad thing because I honestly, I don't know how to describe it besides it just being dumber, and I kind of like it for that. But I think I do miss with Rick and Morty having the cooler concepts come up. Because Solar Opposites, they don't really do a shit ton of. They'll do sci-fi references, but they don't really, I think, experiment with the episodes as much. Because I don't think Dan Harmon's a part of that one. I think that one's all.
I think it's just Justin.
Yeah, I think that's Justin and another guy. So it's different, but I would say if you just want to laugh at something, just try it at the very least. But that's just me. Rick and Morty, though, I saw Mr. What's his name? He controls the police. What's his name?
Oh, Mr. Nimbus.
Yes, I saw Mr. Nimbus. That was all.
Oh shit!
But I
that episode's great.
I really did like that one.
It was alright. Oh wait, no. The side story of Mr. Nimbus I think is funnier than actual Mr. Nimbus. With the
yeah,
were they dogs?
Yeah, they're like dog people, but So I saw that joke coming, but it was still really good what they did with it.
Right.
Oh yeah, that was pretty great.
Yeah, I think Planetina and the bird person episodes I thought were great, and the finale. I thought the finale was good.
I did see Planetina actually. I remember now that one came on Adult Swim, and I caught that one. That one
I
was
really,
alright. That was
I really like. I like Planetina. It's interesting because something that like crossed my mind is, I guess, spoilers for the episode that came out 2 months ago or something. But you know how she like comes together from the rings. So it's just like if she goes away, like what happens with the rings? Does she like? I don't know. It's just I guess it's one of those things you're not supposed to think about. Maybe I thought too deep about it. I opened
Yeah.
the Matrix or whatever, but
yeah.
I don't know.
I liked the crow episode, and then the
I fucking love the crows.
Yeah,
Oh, I love the
crow
fucking
episode was
crows.
good.
The crows were probably my favorite. That might have been my favorite episode. What was it? Crow Quaaludes. Hell yeah, crows!
Can't say that.
Join us, brethren. Join us in crow supremacy. They start fighting back. 2 crows. Crow Quaaludes. And I'm like, yes, Crow Quaaludes.
Oh wait, Luke, have you seen that one or no?
I've not seen that one.
it's
Okay, so I saw
so
Mr.
good.
Nimbus. I saw Planetina. I saw the opening for one. I don't remember what it was, but it involves Morty and a horse inseminator.
Oh, yeah, that's the start of the one that Aaron hates.
Oh yeah.
I love that opening.
That's all you need to see. It's okay.
That opening had me crying laughing. That was like one of the best openings I'd seen in a while for Rick.
You know what? I guess you do need to watch it because then it plays into another episode. Minor spoilers, but what happens in that episode plays into another episode. Which I was surprised. Rick and Morty's been doing more continuity stuff lately.
Oh,
they've been actually having like continuations. I'm like, wow, okay. It's surprising because like with outside of the Citadel stuff, it is pretty episodic.
Okay.
With the exception of this season.
Yeah, I think that's the other thing too. I've been reading a lot of people are like more up on this season, I think, than they were the last one. Which I think the hard part between like these being so far apart, I don't remember the last season all that much. Like I don't usually like go back and like rewatch Rick and Morty. Not like I used to. With like
I rarely do that with shows.
Yeah, yeah, I do too. Just because I usually remember the plot. Like I'm the same way with movies. It's like unless even my favorite movies of all time. I'd say the most I've maybe I've probably watched Jurassic Park a lot, but like, Sorry to Bother You and Annihilation are 2 of my favorite movies of all time. I've literally sat down and watched them both once. Fucking love those movies, and I'm like,
fantastic.
Yeah, it's like snubbed for an Oscar. That's a different conversation, but like great movie.
Sorry to Bother You was.
I think it got nominated for. I think it was snubbed for best original screenplay. That was a really.
It's a great movie. I feel like it's too weird for the Academy though.
I know,
like,
but it's like,
I feel like that there's a scene, and the scene that is either makes the movie or breaks the movie for people. Like you're either or you're out.
Yeah,
you're like, what the fuck? No.
It's like a Promising Young Woman. There's like a point that happens that you either love or you hate. Which Promising Young Woman I thought was fantastic. And then I'm like, oh, this is the part that this is going to split people. And I got why.
I know what part you're talking about, but I think I was bummed before that point happened. There's a character in that movie that I liked. Then I was sad that things changed.
I got why I was bummed out too, but I also understand it because it's kind of like the whole
no, you're supposed to be with the character, and of course I'm sure she's bummed out. So
yeah, but it's like bystander phenomena is I think the point of where that narrative portion goes. But I mean, Luke, how are you doing?
How am I doing?
Yeah, how have you been,
Yes,
man?
good sir. How do you be?
How you been, buddy? How things been going?
Where do I start?
You been up to?
I'm okay. I'm good. I'm working on website stuff.
Ooh.
I'm looking at demos and everything like that.
Okay. Making moves. Lasagna.
I'm watching a lot of franchise crap. So I'm watching
Yeah.
We're getting to
Marvel's
some
What
of it.
If. I'm watching Breaking Bad finally.
Oh, okay.
Which
Oh, your first time? We're going through it?
yeah. So
That's exciting.
I
you'll
got
have a good
to
time.
the start of season 4. And I've kind of realized from what I've been watching, there's probably no more fun times after season once season
Not
4
really.
starts. There's no more fun times. It's
Yeah, I feel like
it's all bad.
It's a great show, but
I feel like once Walt gets the goatee and he's like fully bald,
And
he's
that's a
just
wrap.
it's just down from there.
down.
And the hat, yeah,
well,
full Heisenberg. Once you go
so-
full
God.
Heisenberg, you can't
What
go
was
back.
his wife's name that like everyone
Skylar.
collectively hates, including me?
I don't
Skylar.
understand that though. I don't understand that.
I mean, his
Why
wife.
would he hate her?
Here's the thing: his wife is in the right, but she just feel like the way she's written is such a fucking Karen way, so it just doesn't really make her likable. Like,
See,
no, what
I
Walt
don't-
is doing is objectively wrong, but it's
Yeah,
just like I think
okay.
the way she's written and performed is like, no, she's in the right, but God, she feels like such a drag. It's like just let him sell meth, God damn it.
See, this is my perspective on it. Walt is a huge piece of shit.
Yes,
Skylar's has the burden of being smart in this show. And if you're smart in this show, you are engaged no matter how
Dick.
much you don't want to be. Right? So
Fair.
Skylar kind of gets dragged in because she doesn't have the benefit of being dumb as rocks as Marie. Right?
Marie.
Yeah, exactly. Which I don't know when this will like place where I am with the show or like what's happened. All I can say is the last fun thing I've ever seen was Marie figuring out how to get Hank out of the hospital.
Oh,
I have no memory of that, which probably tells me I need to rewatch the show because I remember how it ends.
It's
I remember
the
how
last,
it ends.
It's
I
the
remember El
last fun,
Camino.
yeah, it's the last fun thing that happens, and then
Well, there-
everything I've seen so far has just been straight up tense.
There's
What's happening in the show right now? I know this is
So-
totally related to what we're talking about, but I'm
Right.
super engaged.
So again, I'm always
Breaking Bad journey.
I'm always tempted to with spoilers because I don't care about them, but I know other people do. So
The show ended like almost
years
10
ago.
years ago.
I know, but there's
Breaking
always
Bad
gonna be-
spoilers. There, you're
There's
fine.
always going to be some guy, but I'll say this. Okay, they just took care of another chemist that could possibly replace them.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, okay.
What's
Yeah,
his
I
name?
remember
What's his
that.
name?
Yeah, Gale. So they just
Ah,
took care.
right?
Yeah, exactly. They just took care of Gale.
Mm-hmm.
Gus just showed them.
You're in the Gus height of
Yeah.
stuff. That's exciting.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
by the
Gus
way,
bit is really good.
I didn't know this when I saw him in earlier scenes. Gus is fucking ripped. Gus is fucking.
Is he?
He
Is he?
takes his fucking jacket off. His biceps are like fucking.
Ooh, shoot.
He was
Giancarlo
jacked. I didn't
Esposito,
expect
fucking
that.
king, fucking Chad.
There's a scene that I cannot wait for you to get
Okay.
to
Oh yeah.
involving these people. That's exciting.
Oh, I will
think
say
that-
something. It's not a spoiler. Well, it's not really a
Mhm.
spoiler. But it's funny that involves a pizza.
Where Walt throws it on the roof.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know about that one.
Angrily
yeah.
chucks an extra large. Also, God, his car is fucking shit. Jesus Christ. An ugly piece of fucking trash.
I
God
will say,
damn it. What a
yeah,
shitty vehicle.
I'm gonna
It's
say
one
this
thing I'm
one-
excited for him to see, and you're not gonna know what this means, but Will will know what this means.
Okay.
You ready, Will?
Oh yeah. I know because when you mentioned that he was in Gus, that was the first thing I thought of.
Yeah. So I will close it out with this.
Okay.
My thoughts so far: Walt's a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
He deserves everything that he gets.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse,
God bless him. He's
I would
trying.
say
Bitch.
Jesse is the protagonist, but that doesn't account for much. So watching
He's
Jesse,
dumb. Jesse's dumb.
yeah, but watching Jesse like always in pain just really frustrates me because I feel like at this point in time he's a better person than Walt is, like altogether.
Have
I
you?
would say just get used to it. Just
Yeah, I can't remember which season it was. So you met is Jesse's girlfriend in season 4, Kristen Ritter?
No,
Dude, that was season 2 or 3.
she was season 2. She is.
Oh, okay.
She's
So
long
yeah,
gone.
yeah, I was
Long
gonna
She
say.
been dead.
Man, that was sad. She was she was so
and
cute in that show.
the last
Little
thing, because that's kind
ass.
of what's been impressing me the most with the show. Everything feels super tight. Like everything feels like super well written. Because like
It's a pretty damn tight
shit
show.
that happened in like season 1
That it
has
is.
ramifications into later seasons, much more so than I would have thought possible. And also, characters just find out, right? Like Skylar finds out. I think a lesser show would have dragged that out to the last season, but I think Breaking Bad was more like Skylar's not an idiot. Of course, she's going to find out. So they just make her find out, and then they deal with it. And
I think that
cool. They don't do a lot of shows. I don't think really. I don't know if there's shows that are like as super tight as that are anymore. Because I was just I was thinking back to like all the Netflix Marvel stuff, and
Daredevil 1 and 3, maybe.
Well, again, when I was looking back through them, part of me was just like, there are some episodes of this that are pointless and that I would take out. But I don't think there's a single episode of Breaking Bad I would take out. Like it all needs to be there. So I don't know. That's just.
Have you seen? I think it's the same season.
Yu Yu Hakusho of dramas.
It's called The Fly. I think the episode's called The Fly.
Mm-hmm.
There's no spoiler. Yeah, you saw that one?
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite episodes. I know a lot of people. I think a lot of people don't like it, but it's like a bottle episode, right?
I think that's probably my favorite episode too. Right now,
I have to go back and
at the very least.
Look,
but
I can't remember.
Directed by Ryan Johnson as well, so it's.
Yes, I remember that.
Yes.
Do you remember that episode, Will? It's the one where it's I think it's just Walt and Jesse in like the chem lab, and I think it's just them the entire episode.
Oh, I think I do vaguely remember that. I think it was pretty cool if I remember. But I also watched Breaking Bad since I was like a sophomore in college, so it's been a good like 6 years.
I want to say that the show ran from 2008 to 2012.
Yeah,
and I caught it.
If you think about it, it came out the same year. It wrapped the same year Avengers did. Avengers 1 came out.
Yeah, 2012 was a big year because it was. Yeah, Breaking Bad would have ended. Avengers would have dropped, and Amazing Spider-Man 1 would have came out. It was a big year.
That's right.
Anyways, and if anyone's curious, I am extremely tired, but powering through it. Let's get to these topics. Do we want to start with video games? Some slight video game news?
Hell yeah.
Sure,
brother.
You guys take the lead on that.
I'd love to talk about video games, brother.
Video games.
Oh, big brother, I love video games.
So PS5 and Sony had a conference. Nintendo also like a week ago or less than a week ago had a what do they call them? The little Nintendo Shuffle things, or whatever. The e-showing. New games, new footage. Honestly, here's the only things I'm really interested in from the PlayStation State of Play. KOTOR remake announced from Aspyr. Spider-Man 2 announced for 2023. All I really care about. What did y'all care about from the showcase? Those are the only things I really give a shit about. And I guess, the new Horizon game, because I'm not a God of War. I'm not a player. It looks cool. We get Fat Thor and a black person, which every time a brown person shows up and not where they usually are, all of a sudden the internet's racism hops out again. So, to be expected. And a Wolverine game got announced.
Got to see a lot of true colors with that reveal. Also, she is Angreboda, which I probably pronouncing that wrong. And for those of you that don't know, in regular Norse mythology, she fathers Loki's monstrous children. So she's the one
fuck.
who she gives birth to
Oh.
Fenrir and Jormungandr and Hel. So I don't know if Hel will show up, but she's kind of the monstrous
makes
courtesan.
sense.
But
It's like the reveal at the end of the first God of War. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes things really interesting now.
Fat Thor is really good though. I do like Fat Thor.
Red-haired, thick Thor.
Yeah, exactly.
Thick Thor?
Very bottom heavy Thor. I actually kind of dig that. He looks way more intimidating to me, I think, that way. He's like very stout and he's
like a power lifter almost.
Yeah, I think there's not a whole lot I can really say about it. It looks kind of mostly the same as the first one. I always really really like the design for the Norse gods in these games. Baldur was like, it's not what I imagined Baldur would have looked like, but it feels like that's how Baldur should look. Just this tattooed motherfucker. But yeah, I mean, it pretty much just looks the same to me. Like, it's, whatever.
I'm really
great.
I'm really curious to see what mythology, if they continue the franchise, they try to tackle next. Somebody, for the life of me, do a franchise with the goddamn Orisha and some African deities or some Native American ones. There's like 100 of those motherfuckers, and no, like Shin Megami Tensei doesn't touch them. God of War hasn't done jack shit. I'm like, nah, man. Imagine like fucking Kratos fighting an African water goddess. I'm not saying you should, but like,
there's
do something new, do something else.
There's
do
cool
some weird shit.
Yeah, Africa's got some really cool stuff. South Africa, I should say, but I think they're probably gonna go Egypt, but who knows for the next one?
Do Japan. Have them fight Izanagi and Izanami.
I think they even hinted at Shinto mythology in the first one, but I think this is the last Norse game.
I think they said it's a duology.
Yeah, I remember hearing this is the last Norse game, which makes sense. It's Ragnarok.
Yeah, which that makes me happy because finally somebody is embracing the concept of a duology. Not everything needs to be a fucking trilogy. Good lord.
What did actually come from State of Play that I cared about?
Wolverine got announced.
Wolverine did get announced. I'm actually curious on that. It's by the Miles Morales team, which could be fun, but who knows?
I was excited.
Wolverine, though.
I'm hyped for that.
Yeah.
I'll check it out more so because it's Insomniac. I don't really care about Wolverine. But I like Insomniac.
He hasn't had a game since Origins, right? Since his adaptation of the movie.
Yeah. Apparently, Origins as a game is pretty good.
It is good.
That's what I hear. I haven't played it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd rather like a Daredevil or a Black Panther game. I'm biased.
See, I do too.
Hey, then play the expansion. Play the Avengers expansion because that's everybody's favorite game.
Will, you're
I don't own Avengers.
You're part
I
of
never bought it. I never bought the game.
Go to Wakanda. Play it as the.
I mean, he looks good.
Play as the trap.
His suit in that game is definitely every now and then. You see suits in games and comics. I'm like, there's no way this transfers well to real life because they're just like, I like a good example is a Captain Falcon suit from Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I'm like, wow, that's one of the most comic accurate suits that we've ever had put to film. And it looks really bad.
I hope they change it. I really want them to change it for the future.
They need to change it up a little because like you see it on the page and you don't think about it, but then you see it in real life. You're like.
That looks corny as shit.
It doesn't look good. It's like how sometimes it's just like it's an adaptation issue with like with Cowboy Bebop, which we'll get into later. There, people got into it too. It's like
she's not wearing the she doesn't look like the anime titty I used to.
It's just like, well, yeah, bro, because that's not realistic. Because she's like, well, we tried it, but every time I turned and farted, it ripped right through it like a sheet of tissue paper. So we had to change it up a little bit. And I think that's what artists need to keep in mind is that, oh, that's right. How would this actually look on a human being who has to use it? That's why all of the designs in the 80s and 90s kind of fell out of fashion. You know, like Nightwing with a giant V taper. It's like, probably a hard thing to fight in. Up with his nipples almost exposed, having to wear double-side tape every time he goes to fight crime in Bloodhaven. Look, it's the Ass Wonder. Let's stop calling me that. Yes, Luke, you were telling us more about your interest in the state of play.
Well, I mean,
Tony Todd is
Cowboy. You were talking about Cowboy Bebop, and I started thinking about that because I got words for that. But
yeah, we'll get to that.
Spider-Man 2, no gameplay, don't care.
Tony Todd Venom though.
Tony Todd Venom is cool, I guess. Craven, I think it's pretty clear that's Craven that's talking in the opening.
Yeah.
Don't care about Craven, but whatever.
I don't
know why I sound so down. Like I like the first Spider-Man game. I haven't played Miles yet, but I assume it's kind of just. I assume.
Do you own it?
Well, no.
Do you own Miles?
I don't.
You don't PS4?
I don't.
What about PS4?
Well, I do have PS4, but is it on PS4?
Yeah,
it is.
PS4.
I have it. I can mail it to you if you want.
4 and 5.
No, you don't have to do that.
It's solid.
I wanted to get it when I got a PS5, but
yeah.
Understandable.
I don't know. What else actually came out? Tokyo. What was it called?
Tokyo Ghosts? What was it?
Yeah, it looks cool.
That looks cool.
I'm interested in that.
Yeah,
I don't know if the lady's still on board with it though. The lady that took the one E3 by storm. What was her name? Because she was spooky, right? But
yeah, I remember who you're talking about. I can't remember. She was adorable.
She was cool. What else?
Like Ghostwalker or something. I'm forgetting the name.
Fuck. Hang on. Give me a second. I need to.
I don't know.
I want to see that fucking. But I kind of agree with you, Luke. Though, like no gameplay for the ones we actually want to see. So kind of like the cultural announcement blew my pants off.
So excited.
But I want gameplay, and I can only assume they're probably going to Final Fantasy VII remake it because that's like the only way I think you can do it because gamers just do not have the patience for turn-based battle systems anymore.
Maybe.
Not the slightest. Like, I'll play a strat or tactical RPG, but I'm not everybody. I play Shin Megami Tensei for fun. I'm a fucking moron,
Project Eve looked okay.
Does that not look like a fucking Nier game?
It does look like a Nier game, and that's probably
like when I saw it, I'm like, oh shit, it's a new Nier game. It's like Project Eve. I'm like, I beg your pardon. It literally has like the floating robot that shoots projectiles while you slash away. I'm like, it's a Nier game.
Now we're now getting Nier. We're now getting Nier clones instead of DMC clones.
Right. Jesus.
Let's see what else came
Yoko
out.
Taro has a game coming out too. It's a fucking card RPG because it got announced at the Nintendo one, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? I want to play it because it's so weird.
Okay, I do have to actually mention this as well. Well, just real quick, Alan Wake getting a remaster. That's cool. I can finally play it again, or have a reason to play it. Masquerade Vampire Blood Hunt looks like
that looks fun.
It looks like it'll be a little wonky, but otherwise a decent idea.
I'd play that with y'all.
Chia looks cute. I want to try Chia, the little girl that's like going into animals and stuff. Did y'all see that one?
I think I did.
It's a little it's a cute trailer. Guardians of the Galaxy still looks lame every time I see it.
I've actually heard that it's actually someone got their hands on like being able to play. You said it's actually better than it looks, but I'm still not sold because I just don't. I just don't care.
The thing that fucks me up about the Guardians game is that we're in the age of like things looking damn near real, and the fact that this Guardian game is coming out and they still can't get the emotion of what the voice actors are doing across in the avatars bothers me. Like maybe the syncing is off too. I don't know, but it's like
Maybe.
something's off.
And
Maybe.
Insomniac's actually pretty good about for the old. Yeah, they're usually pretty good about that. New Peter's face still is a hurdle for me to get through for the eyes. But the rest...
Is it Insomniac that's doing Guardians?
No, it's Eidos Montreal. I thought isn't the same people that did Avengers.
I think it is. That makes a lot. That makes a lot of sense then. But
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the same team that did Avengers, which I'm like not the same team, but the same company.
Yeah, the story stuff looks okay. I'm not a big fan of the jokes so far, but like, man,
don't you only play as Peter in the game? Isn't that like what people are mad about?
Seems to be you only play as Peter.
The lamest one out of the 5 of them. As far as power sets and playability goes.
Yeah. Evidently, the game plays more like an action RPG than it does like a straight action game. So, like, Peter's guns apparently have like different elements that they can use, almost like a magic system.
Yeah, I mean,
oh, interesting.
So I'm like, oh, that's actually interesting.
Yeah, it seems a lot like Mass Effect, but
it's
not as smooth. Yeah,
I think it's a hard, like, especially after the reputation of Avengers. I think it's a hard sell. Like, if this game was what Midnight Suns was, okay, I'd be on board. Just because, like, the roster, I think, would be more interesting. But the Midnight Suns game we got is like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know whether to be upset about it, but man,
and that game has a weird roster.
I saw Midnight Suns and I got really excited, and then I saw what the game was, and I was okay. Never mind.
I don't know. I feel like they should have switched them. Like, give Midnight Suns, the action RPG with like a small roster. It would be like Blade, Ghost Rider, Moon Knight, and fucking Elsa Bloodstone. I don't know.
Yeah, Magic people.
And Magic from not Magic. Get my girl from Runaways. There, you got your roster of 5, and then make Guardians the weird like tactical strap. Like it's a weird crew. Do weird shit. I don't want to. I'm sorry. I don't really care to play as Peter Quill. I got Marvel Future Revolution and said, hey, let me play Storm instead of the guy that fucked up half the universe. Thought we'd forget. We didn't.
We didn't.
But that was State of Play. The Nintendo Direct. I think there's actually probably only one piece of news that we really should talk about.
There's 2.
Outside of that, Bayonetta 3 looks fun.
That's the only one.
I'm glad that it exists.
I'm glad we got gameplay. It looks good.
Yeah. And Kirby.
Oh yeah.
Game looks really fun.
Yeah.
It's basically Kirby Odyssey, which I like a lot.
Yeah, Kirby and Bayo both look really good.
I don't think I really paid attention to anything else except
the Yoko Taro game.
Well, that and the movie announcement that we got.
We're gonna get to that. Aaron, did you have any additional thoughts for the State of Play or the Nintendo Direct? Or we get into that?
No, I think that's the elephant in the room here. I think that's the the big Chris Pratt size elephant in the room.
Yeah, speaking of Chris fucking Pratt ruining things. Yeah, I'm gonna be the asshole about it. I'll say it. All right, so we got a release date and an official cast announcement for the untitled Mario film from Illumination, the studio that brought us Despicable Me. And let me go through the list. We have Jesus. Chris Pratt is Mario. Fuck. Jesus Christ. Okay. Yep. Rest of these are all right. Anya Taylor-Joy is Princess Peach. Charlie Day is Luigi. Jack Black is Bowser. Keegan-Michael Key is Toad. Seth Rogen is Donkey Kong.
Donkey Bong, let's go.
Greta Armisen is Cranky Kong. Kevin Michael Richardson is Kamek. And Sebastian Maniscalco is Foreman Spike. Featuring Charles Martinet, who voices Mario in literally everything else, as various other characters in the franchise and surprise cameos. I don't think there's anything more insulting than saying, Nah, the character you've been voicing for upwards of 40 years, you don't get to play him. We're gonna get Chad Big Dick Swingerson, a husband of one of Arnold Schwarzenegger's kids. You get pushed to surprise cameo. Because when I see a Mario movie, I think of Emmett from Lego Movie. When I see a Mario movie, I think of Mouse Rat from Parks and Rec. When I see a Mario movie, I think of Owen Grady from Jurassic World. Of everybody on this cast list, him being cast as here's the thing. I am fully prepared to eat my words on December 21st, 2022. But until that day comes, I am still going to ask who. And Nintendo is working very closely with them on this. Like, Shigeru Miyamoto is a producer working directly with Illumination to get this movie just right. Well, even during the direct, they said, we like Chris-san. He's very cool. And I'm like, cool. But is he the right fucking pick? Been listening to Charles Martinet's voice longer than I've been a sperm in my daddy's nutsack. And you disrespect this talented individual that is Charles Martinet by saying, fuck you, Charles. You'll get 2 words as Wario. That's it. We're replacing you with Big Dick Swingerton.
But
so fucking cool. Chad Pratt over here. Ooh, you know what? I'm a be the bigot today. I've done it before. I'll do it again. This, also, yeah, what makes it more insulting, there's an actual Italian there. Sebastian Maniscalco. So cool. I don't think you hired the actual fucking Italian. Let's see. His mother is of Norwegian descent. No, you hired a fucking Norwegian man. Italian plumber. You couldn't even get the fucking Italian in the cast to play the fucking Italian plumber.
He's so cool, Will. You don't understand. He's so cool.
You had 2 chances to get it right. You could have gotten the one that literally everybody knows, or the Italian, and said, "Fuck that."
You said you're getting a little nostalgia critic there, Will. You got to be careful.
Oh, he froze. He got so mad he froze.
He got so mad he froze. All right.
He's still pointing. Aaron, is what I can see.
Aaron, what do you think about the Mario movie?
Oh man. I know he's pretty upset about Chris Pratt.
He's so
the thing, like, it made my head turn a little bit when I saw it was Chris Pratt.
The Nintendo snipers got me, y'all.
But you know the shit that fucked me up. Listen.
Anyway,
I like Keegan-Michael Key as much as the next dude.
Wait, that was the one that got you?
But we cast him Keegan-Michael Key as Toad? As Toad? As
So
okay, that makes a little sense. Never mind.
I was honestly surprised it wasn't Kevin Hart as Toad. I was surprised.
Are we just establishing Toad as black? Is this canon now?
If you're gonna go with,
Knuckles is black. Knuckles is Idris Elba. So
that's right.
Knuckles is,
but nobody cares about that. I didn't see a single person mad that Idris Elba was Knuckles.
Well, Knuckles, I didn't know this. Apparently, a lot of people like Knuckles is like coded black to a lot of people, like Piccolo.
Yeah, because of the dreads. He's like
Piccolo. The dreads.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I didn't know.
I just saw that a lot on Twitter. I never thought about it before, but like the more I think about it,
he always had rap music in Sonic Adventure 1 and 2.
Yeah.
My name is Knuckles, and I don't chuckle.
I like to fight.
I like to fight and flex my muscles. It's like, all right, we get it. Yeah. He's urban. Thank you.
When are we gonna get Yahya Abdul-Mateen cast as Piccolo?
Oh shit! Wait. Oh, you fucked up my brain. Why did you do that to me?
It shall come.
It's so good it ruins my mind. Oh, why did you put that in the atmosphere? Somewhere, Abdul Mateen's like another franchise to stick my fingertips into. First Aquaman, then Candyman.
Oh,
now
right,
Great Saiyan Man.
Great Saiyan Man. But
it's weird because like half of this cast works and half of this is fucking bewildering.
Will, I'm gonna be real with you. I was never like super stoked on it when it got announced. But now that I know the cast, I think I'm really interested to see what happens to it. Because this seems like
fascinated.
This seems like a disaster, potentially.
It's weird because like
and I'm kind of
half of this is kind of great. Half of it is fucking confusing. Like Anya Taylor-Joy's Peach. Good.
I can get behind that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Can you get behind that?
Yeah.
Jack Black as Luigi bewilders me.
I don't really feel like doing that right now, Mario. Just want to chill out, you know. I just want to hang out, you know.
Yeah, like Jack Black as Bowser is something I'm like I thought about. I'm like, well, that's fun. What? Like it's something that with time I'm like, actually, that kind of works. Like, it can work.
They missed a huge.
They could have had Kevin Michael Richardson do it. He's right there.
No, I'm saying if you want Jack Black as Bowser, Kevin Michael Richardson would have been pretty good as Bowser. But if you're gonna have Jack Black as Bowser, you could have had Cage as Kamek from Tenacious D. You could have had them.
Oh my god!
You could have had them bouncing off each other.
Oh
you could have
my
had
god!
them talking about dick push-ups and stuff, but they didn't go
push-ups in a power slide.
Oh, cock push-ups. That's what it was called. Cock push-ups.
It was cock. You're right. Because dick is the superior word. That's why your brain went to it.
No, if I'm being honest though, if I'm being for real, you know, like I like Mario. I'm not gonna say I'm a diehard Mario fan. I've played a games in the franchise here and there.
I've gamed with the best.
I'm sure it'll be fun. I'm sure it'll be fine. You know, is Chris Hart a weird choice? Chris Hart.
Chris Hart. Half Chris Pratt. Half Chris Kevin Hart. The notion of like a 6 foot tall Kevin Hart in Guardians.
Oh my god.
Kevin Hart as Peter Quill in Guardians of the Galaxy is a lethal image.
Oh god, I can't even picture it. I don't want to picture.
And then I went boom, bow, bam, ooh. Then I put on my Walkman and listened to New Edition. A completely different movie. Imagine what Awesome Volume 1 would be like with Kevin Hart as Peter Quill. It'd be like
now that you say that.
Well. You sold it.
I can totally see Kevin Hart doing the dance at the end of Guardians 1. I can see that.
He'd be dancing like Michael Jackson, and it'd be hilarious.
Oh yeah.
He'd be like trying to moonwalk, but do that shit moonwalk because he's in boots. So he'd be like this,
unless
like going backwards.
In case you're blind, put my dance on. And he just goes into it.
I'ma whoop your ass.
There you go. It's perfect. There you go.
Wait. Can we get that what if?
What if Kevin
Hart?
What if Kevin Hart was Peter Quill?
Yeah. At the end of the day.
How do we feel about Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong?
Donkey Bong, let's go.
That's another one where it's just like, what? Crack? Was it crack that you were smoking in there? In the casting? Donkey Kong, no!
Smoke up, Mario.
It's gonna be weird. I'm sure it's not gonna. I think it's gonna have homages to what we know the world of Mario to be, but I don't think it's gonna be the Mario that we know. I think change it up on us.
Yeah, the reason I was never like super excited about it was Illumination kind of makes very like
safe movies,
lazy movies. I was gonna
Mario's
say
not even have a mustache
right
in this movie.
I mean, Luke, you're right. I just took the nice way out.
Right, but I'm interested now in like how not. I don't want to say bad. I just want to say how interesting it will be because it's.
Is Luigi going to be shorter than Mario now?
Charlie Days is shorter.
I don't know, Mario.
Yeah, Luigi has like a fucking smoker's cough all of a sudden. Here, try fight milk.
That was perfect. That was really good. That was really good.
I can do spot on impersonations 3% of the time, only once ever. I did a dead on Steve Harvey once, and I can't repeat it again.
But Steve Harvey, that would have been a choice for Luigi.
Steve Harvey.
Oh, bro, Steve Harvey is Bowser. Yeah. Here on Family Feud.
God.
Number
We
one
got
answer.
the princess up in the castle. Look here, Mario. We got Peach and Daisy. We'll look up at the board, and the board says,
Yeah, at any rate.
Sound like a Southern Baptist preacher.
Yeah, there you go.
half of this cast is like Anya Taylor-Joy is probably the best pick. I mean, which I'm like, are you sure this isn't a live action one and you fucked up? Like,
I feel like it's hard to go wrong with Peach though as well. Like
It's not
the
really
only way you
hard
could have
to-
fucked up. The only way you could have fucked up doing Peach is like if you cast Wanda Sykes as Peach. Like
wait a minute.
Melissa McCarthy.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Aaron. Wanda Sykes is Peach. I'd be there on preview night to see Mario.
If they really wanted to be bold, the Mario movie should have broken.
He goes
new
to
ground.
save her, and
Had
she's
an
like,
all-
"Oh, thank you, Mario. Now I'm a lesbian."
The Mario movie should have had an all-black cast.
should have.
Yes.
1,000% should have.
Terrence Howard
There you go, Terrence Howard.
Who's
as
Terrence Howard playing?
Mario.
As Mario.
Mario.
And then
Don
Kevin Hart is
Don Cheeto as Luigi.
There you go. What they got going on out there?
Will Smith as I don't even fucking know who he'd be. I don't know who else is
Smith
left.
Will Smith
Oh,
is
oh,
Donkey Kong.
Yeah. Jaden
Yeah.
Smith is Baby Bowser.
Wow, Dad, that's so crazy.
Yeah, they've
That
Gotta
shit
go
is
stop
crazy.
Mario.
Who else? Shit.
Woo!
Oh,
Woo!
wow.
Lakeith Stanfield.
You jokers must be crazy.
You plumbers must be crazy. Wow.
I know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
I'm saying, know what I'm saying. Know what I'm saying. Ah, wow. Ah, Jada. Ah, wow.
Woo!
I mean, that might actually lead us into our next topic. Do we have any other thoughts on, other than evidently the Mario cast should have just been all black? Again,
Yeah.
Idris Elba is Luigi. I don't know about that Mario.
I don't know, but no show on that one. He's just
Sure,
gonna
that's
do
one.
that. You gotta do that rumbling English voice.
Mario, we've got to go save Peach from Bowser.
Yeah. But interesting choices all around.
Yeah, like the most normal one is Anya Taylor-Joy, and I guess Fred Armisen is Cranky Kong. I guess.
I guess.
The weird, the Sebastian Maniscalco is Foreman Spike. I'm like, who is who? And then I remembered. I'm like, oh, he's fun. Wait, what the fuck? I'm like, who is Foreman Spike?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So I'm just. Anyways, who the fuck is this? Wait, who the fuck is this? No, Google him. Who the fuck is this?
Foreman Spike?
Yeah, who the flying shit heel is this? I have never seen this nigga in all of my days. Never in all of my years of existence, I have never heard of this man's existence. Well, we got a cast confirmation for the Fresh Prince dramatic series Bel-Air, which also finished wrapping its first episode. So I know all of 2 of these people. So we have newcomer Jabari Banks as well. Ironic. Adrian Holmes as Philip Banks. Sandra Freeman as Vivian Banks. Ali Sholotan as Carlton Banks. Coco Jones as Hillary Banks. Akita Akbar as Ashley Banks. Jimmy Akingbola as Jeffrey. Jordan L. Jones as Jazz. And Simone Joy Jones as Lisa. So of this list, I know Coco Jones because she used to be a singer. And I know Jordan L. Jones. A lot of black people have the last name Jones. I'm just now realizing. It's very common. Yes, and I know her and Jordan L. Jones from I think Internet Addicts and maybe some other stuff. A lot of people have kind of been in a tizzy despite us knowing about this for the part of 2 years. Because remember, what was his name? What was the young brother's name? Well, it has it here in the Variety article. Bel-Air is based on the viral video of the same name by Morgan Cooper, which reimagined the beloved Will Smith-led sitcom as a drama series. Peacock gave the show a 2-season order back in September 2020, set in modern-day America. Bel-Air is described as a serialized 1-hour dramatic analog of the sitcom version that leans into the original premise. Will's complicated journey from the streets of West Philadelphia to the gated mansions of Bel-Air. Cooper is a co-writer, director, and executive producer. TJ Brady and Rashid Newson are co-showrunners and executive producers, following the exits of Chris Collins. And then Smith also executive produces via Westbrook Studios, along with Quincy Jones, Benny Medina, and original series creators Andy and Susan Borowitz. So it seems like everybody that was involved with the original is also coming back to at least executive produce.
Right, yeah.
Miguel Melendez and Westbrook Studios' Terrence Carter will also executive produce. Westbrook Studios and Universal TV will produce. UTV was the original studio behind the original as well. I do remember that. It was a Universal production. So, yeah. I mean, a lot of people felt away with the announcement. I'm like, oh, that's right. I forget that people on the internet forget things very much. I'm like, dude, when that trailer dropped, everyone's like, oh, that'd be really crazy interesting if they did it. And then they pulled the trigger. They said, no, wait, no. Not like this. It's like, bitch, that's exactly what y'all said. You said it looked cool.
Do it.
We didn't think you would listen to us. And Will Smith did that whole video where he talked with the guy that did the short. It looked really interesting. He's like, yeah, we should turn this into an actual thing. And he said, okay. And so they did, because he's fucking Will Smith. If he says something, if he says jump, you say okay, to the clouds or to the atmosphere.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking Will Smith.
Right.
I think people are always eager to say something's cool, but the minute you actually do it, obviously they start to think to themselves, "What? You can't do this." So it's. I'm not keeping my eyes on it because I didn't actually really grow up with Bel-Air when I was younger, but
love Fresh Prince.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a cool idea. I think
one of my favorite sitcoms next to Married with Children, which they could not be. I think they actually are polar opposites of one another.
Yeah,
1000%.
God damn, yeah, they're 1-to-1 opposites in almost every regard. Rich black family and a poor white family.
Yeah, exactly.
2 daughters versus 2 sons. God damn,
they speak to different parts of me.
Yeah, one speaks to the 80% and one speaks to the 20%. Somewhere in the middle, they should make some sort of 3/5 compromise. God damn it!
Damn, I'll check out Bel-Air. Yeah, man. I think that was cool that he did a little interview with the guy who got cast as well and stuff. Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential there for a modernized, updated version of the story that we all kind of grew up with in the 90s. So yeah, I'll check it out. What's on Peacock? Is that what they said? Or is it gonna be on TV? Peacock.
I think it's gonna be. I'm imagining it's probably gonna go. Yeah, Peacock.
I don't got Peacock, so I gotta get Peacock.
Yeah, I ain't get. Look, don't get me wrong. I love Fresh Prince. You better put that shit on something I can see. On Hulu.
Right. Who's Peacock I'm gonna have to go mooch off of to watch this show?
And, like, whose daughter am I gonna have to date to get access to Peacock? Hillary Banks, like, it happened.
Hillary
But,
Banks. What's up, Uncle
yeah,
Phil?
like, right. I'm mad interested. You know, cast is beautiful. I felt bad for the guy playing Will Jabari, because like I was reading
In the
comments,
trailer?
not in the when the announcement came.
You're talking, is that the
Jabari Banks
guy
is
who
the
played him
playing Will
originally?
now. Oh no, that
Oh,
was
you feel
that Cooper. What's his name? Morgan
feel
Cooper.
bad for that guy.
Yeah. Well, no, Morgan Cooper is co-writing, but I feel bad for Jabari Banks, the guy that's playing him in the actual series, because you know how like ruthless black people can be sometimes. That's why you never want to go on stage at the Apollo. This dude was getting torn to shreds. They're just
What are
like,
they saying
hey,
about
didn't Will used to get bitches back in the 90s? I'm like, yo,
That's savage.
that's mean.
Why would
Like,
they
look,
say
he's
that?
a handsome young man. Hey, it's like, hey, look, man, you know, bitches evolve. Okay. Now, granted, like the young lady they got playing Lisa is gorgeous. Now she's no Nia Long, and that's okay. She's not supposed to be Nia Long. She's supposed to be fucking Lisa. You know? You can't. It's like I get it as a vehicle, and people are like, you know, why don't you do anything new? It's like, because they said they were doing this fucking year ago. You know, this isn't new news.
All right.
So I'm like, well, y'all freaking out like you didn't watch the same video as me. Why are they doing this? Why are they bringing back all the old stuff? I'm like, to be fair, they told y'all they were doing this. Will Smith co-signed this before it even went into like confirmation. Will Smith said, wow, that's crazy. Do it. He's Will Smith and he's rich as shit. He can just do it. So, you know, you don't have to watch it, but I give them this. At least they're trying to change the tone. I think that's what'll make it interesting is like, for a series that was pretty episodic, so that allows you a lot of liberty to make it serialized.
Right.
You know, versus the other way around, because it's like a lot of cartoons have done the opposite, where they've taken something that was more serialized and tried to make it more, you know, a little bit more episodic, and I think it doesn't work out as well. You take something that was already pretty episodic. I mean, there are some storylines like Will and Lisa getting engaged, or you know, Hillary dating Trevor through a couple of episodes, and then Trevor died, and then she got her own TV show. Hillary had the weirdest fucking uptick in she's one of the few people I've seen like fail upwards, but that's what happens when you're pretty and rich. So, you know, curious to see how they'll translate a lot of elements, especially with it being like essentially a black and bougie family in the millennium, or the new millennium, if you will.
Millennium, you didn't.
But, hey man, great album. But like being rich and black in the 90s and being rich and black in the 2020s just means vastly different things. You know, getting into social media is like, if it was a period piece, that's kind of why I'm not interested. You know how they have that new version of the Wonder Years narrated by Don Cheadle?
Oh yeah,
it's like it's
the
a period
Black Wonder
piece.
Years.
The Black Wonder Years, and I'm like, well, I don't want to see that shit.
Why are they doing? Why not call it something else?
I'm just like, why
the Wonder Years?
Yeah. Because it's a reboot of the Wonder Years with black people. I'm like, I don't want to see black people in the 60s.
Oh, thank you. I'm good. I'll pass.
Like, no thanks.
Seen it too many times.
It's like, look, man, I watched Lovecraft Country. Was not the biggest fan of it. I'm okay on that. If I want to know what it was like being black in the 60s, I'd go upstairs and talk to my mother. Like, I'd talk to family. If I wanted to know what surviving was like, I'd talk to family. I'd call my dad and be like, "Hey, so how'd you make it through being in the 60s in DC?"
Yeah, I was about to say you can talk to your parents or go to North Carolina for a day.
Right. So you know, being someone that lives in a black Wall Street, I could literally go up the street, be like, "Congrats, there's history." Like, no, but like a Bel-Air reboot, yeah, that's way more interesting to me than like a Black Wonder Years, because it's like, you know, it's trying to be like, well, not everything was bad for everybody in the 60s. Yeah, but I mean,
yeah, but
with the famous black actor voicing his youth. Like, it sounds a little familiar now. It's like we redoing Everybody Hates Chris. We're just doing this again.
What it really is a soft Everybody Hates Chris reboot. Yeah, it'd be like, hey, let's do the Wonder Years, but with a Japanese family in 1947. All right.
Nope.
You can, but why would you?
You mean the Wonder If I Want to Survive years? Wonder if I'm going to make it years?
It's just like, bro, at least for Fresh Prince, you know, it wasn't racism every episode. It was only like 6 seasons, you know. Pretty good run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
yeah, no. I don't know.
I'm gonna be cautiously optimistic just because like Will is involved too, and so is all of the old producers and the creators. Like they're all executives, so I'm sure they're gonna have their fingers really. You know, I'm sure they're gonna let Cooper kind of have his way in terms of the narrative, but they're gonna be like, look, we want to have a good, you know, we have at least 2 seasons. We want to have a really good grip on this. Exactly. Bowling ball.
Even though I never saw the original, there is another thing we're going to talk about a little later today that I am excited for. That's something from the 90s. It's a reboot, or is it a reimagining?
I'm trying to think what we want to do. Oh yeah. Do you want to talk about that?
I mean, you guys know the most about it. You guys probably know more about it than I do, but it looks cool.
I mean, slightly. Well, we can talk about Cowboy Bebop.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let's talk about Bebop. Then we can talk about trailer, 2 shows, and a movie. I think we're good. Bebop released its opening trailer for the live action one coming out in November. I'm gonna be honest with you, Aaron, and they're gonna remove my weeb card, which is fine by me. You know, it's like, oh, we're taking his virginity back. Okay, have it. I haven't watched Bebop start to finish. I've actually only watched one specific episode of it, and I vehemently remember it.
Okay.
I've seen one episode twice, coincidentally, like 4 years apart. I don't know how I kept finding the same one, but it lives rent free in my brain. I'm gonna probably watch Bebop once I finish Yu Yu Hakusho. Like I'm familiar with it, you know, cultural osmosis, but I haven't sat down to watch because it's one of those shows where because it's only 24 episodes. Like, oh, I'll get around to it. No, I'll get around to it. No, I'm gonna get around to it, and then it just kept getting pushed in the queue.
That's like Firefly for me.
Yeah, I did the same thing with Firefly back in college. But the trailer looks good. I mean, you know, it redoes a lot of stuff from the original, but it also kind of adds its new spin. The couple things in it, I will say, that kind of look like I'm like, oh, this looks like a cosplay music video. Which I'm like, I mean, it's a Cowboy Bebop live action series. You know, I'm
conflicted when it comes to this because
how you kind of feel.
It looks cool. Like though I've never seen Cowboy Bebop. I know about it by cultural osmosis, same as you. But I have friends who've seen it. You know, people I watch on the internet have seen it. But I have seen anime, and from what the looks of this is one of the few times I've seen an American adaptation of something that is Japanese, that is anime, that looks accurate and looks cool. So it gets me excited. Now the thing I'm conflicted about
that's sad.
Is do I watch this show just like going in cold because I think it looks cool, or do I watch the original source material and then watch it? But I feel like if I watch the original source material, I'm gonna come at this with a harsher lens because I'm familiar with what it comes from, rather than letting the storytellers of this new version tell the story they want to tell.
I think because I'm probably gonna watch the original before I watch this. Not that I don't want to be surprised, but in terms of like understanding the whole cultural zeitgeist, because Bebop was probably huge when we were kids. For like older,
sometime around DBZ and stuff.
Yeah, that the Toonami era, because that's when it like was really big, and it's just maintained just because of sheer quality. And of course, you know, I love Real Folk Blues and everything. It's a great song. So is Bang. But I'm probably kind of gonna treat it like there's Neon Genesis Evangelion, and then there's also the rebuild of Evangelion movies, which is the same creator, but like the narrative stays the same to a point, and then they're like, well, here are the changes that I want to do with the story to kind of change the themes in the narrative. So with I think the original showrunner is involved in the production, and I'd be curious, less so as a one-to-one comparison, like almost like a Death Note versus this one, which I'm wondering if it's like, is it supposed to be a reimagining of it, or is it supposed to be like a new take?
Retelling.
What I've heard,
yeah, it's like, is it a direct remake, or is it like, hey, I want to do something very familiar with these characters, but I'm gonna change some things because it's in live action, so I can afford different liberties.
What I've heard is that they're focusing on a particular storyline as opposed to. So I think it's supposed to be like a remake of it, but they're focusing on like one storyline as opposed to how the show did it, where the show was like very episodic up to a point.
Yeah.
And then after that, it had a storyline. They're focusing, I think, on like that last couple of episodes with I can't remember what it's called. I guess the Syndicate or something.
Okay.
Oh, so you're the only person who have seen the show.
I saw the whole way, but again, I saw it when I was a kid. And
how did you feel about the trailer?
All right, I'm gonna say this. It was cool that they kept it really similar.
Yeah.
It was actually really cool. It did look very fan made, though.
That's how I felt.
And I'm gonna just say this, kind of just my thoughts on the show as a whole, because I just kind of have this problem in general, because they're also doing One Piece live action. Which, I don't know how the fuck they're gonna do that. I don't really get the point of doing it, like.
Funny.
I feel like the animation was really like what sells the aesthetic for a lot of it. I'll preface it this way. This is what I thought they were going to do. I thought it was going to be, it takes place in the setting, but it's not the same characters.
Oh, that would have been interesting. Kind of like almost like Blade Runner or Star Wars.
So I thought it was going to be like almost like Tales from the Borderlands, where it was like a completely different story, but like in the setting. I thought that would have been really cool, because it would have been like adapting the world, but not the story that we kind of know. So like you get that chance to kind of like further flesh it out.
Right.
I think with no, what were we gonna say?
Well, I mean, I was just gonna say, I think with like taking the characters and just like redoing it, I don't know. Part of me is just like, I don't really get the point of it. I don't feel like it really adds anything. But
I think from my perspective, though I haven't seen the original show, I can kind of understand why someone would do that. It's similar to why they adapted Invincible into a show, because. What was it made? Cowboy Bebop was made in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Like 20 plus years ago. And Invincible was made in the early 2000s. And I feel like if you are going to redo a show, I don't know if the original creators are involved in this new version or not, but I would imagine it would be to expand upon, if not even change a few things about what the original one did. Like a bit of revisionist history. Hopefully that's for the positive. Hopefully they changed like some stuff that needed to be fleshed out. But I think that's what the intention would be, or the thought.
I agree with you. I do hope that they change it. Like, this is gonna sound really weird based on what I just said. I hope they change it a lot. I hope they change it like completely different, because I don't need the same show again. If they add new stuff,
now, do you have a good memory of that show?
Oh, I love that show. The show was great. But I don't.
Well, you said you watched it when you were a kid. I was just like, do you have like, is it vivid in your memory?
And then I saw it again like very recently. Well, I say very recently, but it was like probably a couple years ago. But that show was great. That show is like really fucking amazing. There's a reason why people like it. It's not. I know that the go-to thing is that nostalgia. It is just a really good show. Like,
right.
It's structured in the way it's shot and everything, like the stuff that they have. So when I say that I hope they change a lot of it, it's mostly just boils down to I don't need to see the same things adapted.
Do you think
I want to see a new take on stuff?
With my own personal dilemma, I know what Will's gonna do. Do you feel like, as someone who's never seen it, do you feel like watching the original anime first could ruin the adaptation for me, or do you think that I would hope that it would stand on its own feet, regardless of if I've seen it.
Okay,
but
which it should.
Here's the thing. Everyone's always going to say this should stand on its own, right?
Mm.
I think by the very proxy of like you naming it the same as the show, you're inviting comparison. So if I tell you watch the original and it ruins the new one for you, I think that would be more on the new adaptation and not on seeing the old one. So I would recommend, yes, go ahead and watch it. Because I think that if the new one is like ruined because you watched what came before, I think that's only going to speak to how good the old one was, not necessarily to the new one's benefit or whatever. I don't know what I was trying to say, but watch it. It's a good show. It's a good show.
I think the only thing I can compare it with, or not, the notion of watching the original before going into the remake or the adaptation would be like something like Watchmen, for example. Like how the Watchmen movie, everyone who's read the Watchmen book hates the Watchmen movie, but everyone who's never read the book really likes the movie. But I feel like if it was one of those examples of like, if you watched the movie and then read the book, I think you could appreciate them both. Maybe there was an example of somebody reading the book and realizing the movie's trash, but I feel like normally it's them end up liking both versions and how they're different.
Maybe
because you didn't have a pre-attachment to it.
I kind of see what you mean. I sit in a really weird position where like, okay, I can at least say this. I think it's because the movie is so close to the comic that it invites those comparisons a lot more. I am one of those that doesn't like the movie all that much, but I do give it credit for like stuff it does right, like with the visuals and everything. Like it's a very nice looking movie. I just don't think it's as interesting as the comic. Like I don't think it's terrible or anything. I just don't think it's as interesting. So maybe that plays into what you're saying. I feel like if you're trying to make something stand on its own, just do it really different and just do your best to like make a cool story out of an idea. Because if it's a 1-to-1, obviously if I'm watching the original, I just kind of look at that as like, oh, well, I like the original better. Like it just, I think it just has better things going for it. But I do kind of see what you mean. I would say this, watch the new one first if you want like a fresh thing. And then afterwards you want to see what people were talking about, go watch the old one. Maybe that's a better way to do it. New one, then old one. And then you can make a decision from there.
Because I'm gonna try and watch the old one first. Because like you said, Luke, by obvious proxy of giving it the same name, you're naturally gonna invite comparison. I think for me, there's gonna be like, because I know that it's not supposed to be like the same Spike Spiegel or something like that.
Right.
It's its own thing. One can't really ruin the other. You just kind of have to be like, oh, this thing that's already good is good. Oh, this thing that's new and like taking, its own path with this may be good in its own way. You could have two different things or two different mediums that are both good. I'm hoping it's good.
But here's slightly
the thing. Yeah.
So I haven't read or seen both of them in a long time, but I know at least for me, reading the book, The Color Purple, ruined the movie for me. I don't like that movie. It's like it's so watered down and so like Disney-fied, and like the book is so raw and just like
isn't it
fucked
like
up.
Is that?
I mean this in an observational way. Isn't it like incredibly queer? Like open about it.
Yeah,
super
and
black
they're
and
like
super
very
queer.
detailed, and yeah, it's very open with like the fact that the main character is gay for sure.
Right. And I saw somebody on a thread complaining about directors, and they're like, Steven Spielberg didn't make the film gay enough. I'm like, look, it was the 90s. He had to pick either black or gay, and he did not know how to do both at the same time. God,
I think that's a movie that deserves a remake or a miniseries.
Actually, no, that'd be really good. But man, I'm gonna think who would do that and do it well, because I would not want Lena Waithe to touch that, and that was the first person they would go for. It'd be Lena Waithe, Tessa Thompson, and Janelle Monáe, and that two of those three do not fit.
Who's directing it? Is it Nia DaCosta or is it
let Nia DaCosta direct it.
Okay.
And Nia DaCosta's Color Purple would be tight. It'd look good. It looked fucking amazing.
Oh, it looked fantastic.
Like, damn, that cornfield looks good. But what were you about to say? Cornfield is lit.
I also have another comparison to this. It's actually kind of my favorite comparison. Have you seen Halloween, right? Like the original.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah,
John Carpenter.
I'm familiar.
Original John from like 1979.
So y'all know about the remake that they did with Rob Zombie. Right?
Zombie. Yeah, it's certainly a direction to go with. It's interesting.
Okay, so as a remake, it does a lot of different stuff, like in the beginning. Like they show his backstory. I don't think it's the best stuff ever, but it was really different. I was like, okay, this is kind of interesting. They're just doing something different. The last 30 minutes of that movie is a shot-for-shot remake of the original 1979 movie. And I think when you have something like that, and you have the old one, I think it's totally fair to be like, no, the old one's better. This is
if you're doing it's like when they did the shot for shot Psycho remake.
Yeah,
exactly. Nobody asked for with Vince, not
if
Vincent
D'Onofrio. If it's
Vince
just
Vaughn.
like a
Vince Vaughn.
If it's just a shot for shot, it doesn't add anything new. I don't really like that.
I generally agree. It depends on. Oh no, actually, I agree with you on that, because I'm like, if you're going to,
but there are bad ways to adapt things too, like Dragon Ball Evolution,
of course,
or
there's
The Last Airbender.
You can tell when someone cares and when they don't.
Yeah, and like something that it at least makes me feel a little bit better is that Christopher Yost is apparently working on the script, and he has a really positive track record with me.
Yeah.
So, but the showrunner I'm iffy on, but Christopher Yost is writing. Yoko Kanno came back for the theme.
Yeah.
It seems like they have a lot of the old staff.
Yeah. It seems like they care at the very least.
Yeah. Because all you
can say, their outfits look cool to me. I like the costume designs.
They look practical, but still look like the originals pretty closely, or as close as you're probably going to get it, like in that setting.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, I would have preferred if like they had that costume design set up, but they made new characters, because I was interested in like how they would have adapted the setting for like new people and new stories. But whatever. We just get.
I think when you get down to it, especially because this is going to be like, I think 10 1-hour episodes.
Yeah.
So it's already shorter than original Bebop.
Yeah.
I think you kind of have to make yourself do. You kind of have to do stuff differently. Otherwise, it's gonna be like, well, and then I can just go watch the original.
Yeah,
I think you have to expand on some elements that weren't done in the original, or just be like, hey, rather than it be episodic than narrative, we're just gonna make it one big narrative and expand on like the characters. Because I don't think Ed's in this one.
I don't think they are either. I don't remember hearing about Ed.
Ein is, but I don't think. Oh wait. Apparently Ed is showing up.
Okay.
Just haven't announced who's playing him.
Okay.
But
yeah, because I just don't really want to harp on it too much. But yeah, it's I think it's the same thing with like a lot of just not just like adaptations of stuff, but like with anime stuff in general with Hollywood.
yeah.
I just get kind of bummed out because I think most of the time it's literally just like, oh, let's just do it because nerds know what the fuck this is. Like Akira,
Right.
how they're trying to adapt Akira for so many years. It's literally just like nerds.
God, they've been trying to get that shit. I'm like, you're gonna fuck it up. And
nerds know what Akira is, so who gives a fuck? Just make it shot for shot. Cowboy Bebop, it's on like a streaming thing, so at the very least it's episodic still, even if it's like serial. So I think that's more interesting. The One Piece thing, that's a disaster. That's
incoming because I'm like, there's not going to be a good way to make Luffy's powers look good in like IRL.
Horrifying.
Like I've seen, it's like Mr. Fantastic, but somehow less serious.
It's.
I don't know how you do it either.
There's just no way it's gonna be good. There's no way.
A smiling teenage boy with stretchy arms looks like a serial killer.
Yeah.
You fucking see this coming at you from a mile away? Jesus Christ! I'd shit myself.
I'm willing to be proven wrong, but that sounds like a disaster. That doesn't sound like a good idea.
There's just a lot where it's like, oh, this sounds good in concept, but like you said, some of these things you just gotta kind of do OC character, do not steal, and maybe adapt the story.
Maybe.
Like Death Note, massive fuck up. Massive fuck. Jesus Christ! Everyone knew he was the killer. Who the fuck has frosted tips in 2017? He was obviously a school shooter.
Obviously.
But like people were kind of mixed on Bleach. People didn't like the FMA movie. People do like the Rurouni Kenshin movies. And people, I think, like the Lupin
because those are easy to adapt. Those are
true. It's a samurai.
Yeah, those aren't as difficult as fucking rubber men and clown pirates.
One I fear is when they inevitably get to trying Yu Yu Hakusho live action, because that could be good.
Could suck.
Because trying to condense, because they probably want to do Dark Tournament. Trying to condense Dark Tournament to like a 90-minute movie. Oh, fuck. Oh, my chest. Like the notion of, also, just minor side tangent because I've been watching the show. No fucking way these kids are like 14, 15.
No.
At all. Like watching Kuwabara. Yusuke, what the heck are you doing? I'm like, there is no fucking way you are 15, fucking 6 feet tall. Like, I've seen a 6 foot tall 15-year-old. They look weird.
They're delinquents, Will. They're giant, massive for their age. Totally makes sense.
Yusuke Urameshi ripped to shit. I'm like, dude, is it because you're poor? Is that why you're so cut? Like, because all you do is fight and eat rice to survive? Like, good lord, but
at any rate.
I don't know. I'm gonna be cautiously optimistic for Bebop. I mean, the opening.
I'm gonna watch it. Yeah,
I'm gonna watch it. Like, I'm gonna check out the original, then I'm gonna give it a chance.
I'll do the reverse, and then we'll compare. We'll talk. Yeah, we'll talk about it after.
Compare experiences. We got the opening, but we got a trailer for something that's also the resuscitation of a long thought gone 90s franchise. First trailer for Matrix Resurrections, and I think it looks pretty good. I think it looks good.
I've only seen the first Matrix.
Good.
What? Really?
And the other one.
Yeah, I never saw the sequel.
Don't watch the other.
I mean, if you watch 2 and 3 back to back, because it's more cohesive as a narrative back to back, which is I'm probably gonna watch all 3 of them before I go see Resurrections. But like,
next month, right? December. Okay.
Dune is next month. Resurrections is December.
It's doing something interesting, which I think is the best I could have asked for with like a Matrix sequel after this many years.
And I think Lana Wachowski saw Keanu Reeves and Bill and Ted and said, "Yeah, don't shave him again. Never do that again." It's weird. As he aged, his face didn't make the cut, so let's keep him with facial hair. He's like, have you ever seen Chris
Everything
Harden?
from the top of his lip to his forehead didn't age.
And
everything
then,
under that
nose down is 50, like absolutely 50. And you know, at some point they were like, "Oh, Keanu Reeves should play Spike Spiegel." No, the fuck he couldn't.
No,
or shouldn't.
They got the right person for that.
Yeah. Yeah, John shows Kung Fu. The Keanu Reeves is always found Wick. That's not like it's not a acting talent dependent film. I'm not saying that he's not talented, but Keanu Reeves and Nick Cage are like Mickey Rooney. I meant Mickey Rourke. Mickey Rooney too. They're like very specific actors that need very specific. Like, who's another one? Fucking dude with the crazy eyes.
Steve Buscemi?
No, Steve Buscemi is legitimately talented. He just has that face.
With the crazy.
Harry Busey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're in that camp of actors that you need to have the right script to pull the talent out of them, and Matrix is just in Keanu's wheelhouse. It's like, I'm not in this. He's also carried by just the fucking powerhouse that is Carrie-Anne Moss. Just
he's still fantastic.
Carrying, like, don't worry, Neo, I've got you.
Movie on her back,
right? Yeah. On her really leather-clad back.
So, who's playing
Morpheus?
Who's playing Morpheus again?
Piccolo.
Abdul Mateen the second.
Piccolo.
Yes.
I'm really curious what that's about.
So am I.
That's a really interesting decision that they made, especially when they brought Carrie-Anne Moss back. So I'm really wondering what they're doing with that. That was kind of the thing when I watched the trailer. I was like, they're doing weird stuff with this that I wouldn't have expected from like just a typical sequel.
But the thing is, because it's Matrix and because it's like weird and like, I don't know, I feel like a recast like that would work specifically because it's Matrix.
So I'm saying it because I'm interested in the recast itself. I'm interested if there's like a purpose behind it, because obviously anyone that's watching it is going to be like, that's not Morpheus. But I'm wondering if that's part of the story, right? Like Morpheus looks this way for a reason. Like, is this the Matrix using a version of Morpheus to like mess around with Neo or whatever? Like, I'm not sure, because again, it's like they brought Carrie-Anne Moss back. That was the thing that stuck out to me. They brought her back, but they didn't bring back Fishburne, at least not that we know of.
Which also true.
I was just really interested in that.
I think almost the illusion of time and moving forward and backwards have a lot, because it looks like I guess there's a spoiler for Revolutions. Remember the little girl at the end of Revolutions?
Yeah.
So I think she was in the trailer, but she's older now because of time. Yeah. But so you have her older, but then you have what looks to be either a different or a younger Morpheus.
Right.
So is this Morpheus who seems to be training under Neo? Mm-hmm. But is it like a younger Morpheus training under an older Neo?
What if they're pulling a Men in Black 3?
Nigga. Goddamn.
What if? I don't know. It was just a really cool thing. I want to see more from it for sure. I was never big on the Matrix movies, but like as a trailer,
I loved them shits as a kid.
Yeah,
it interested me at the very least.
Yeah,
And then you get older and like, what do you mean there are like themes and philosophies in the Matrix? I just
What do
watched
you
it for the
mean?
cool superpowers and Rage
Yeah.
Against the Machine.
I was about to say, what do you mean that these are ripoffs of anime? Come on.
What do you mean they stole this all from a black woman alongside the Terminator? Yeah, that's a whole legal case in itself that she won, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's right. She did.
She did. I think she won both of those, which good on her.
Good on her.
Elena Wachowski's like, shit. What am I gonna do now? I can't steal from black people anymore.
It's not okay anymore.
Damn it! It's 2021. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I'm a trans woman. I gotta make my own. But I don't know. It looks good. Cinematography looks good. I think it's just a well put together trailer. Like it doesn't tell me a goddamn thing, which for the Matrix is surprisingly not at all hard to do. I don't think with any of those movies, none of those trailers told you shit.
No.
So it's definitely one of those brain fucking high concept movies.
Well, you know, on the surface, but
on the surface. On the surface of the Matrix.
Whatever. It's neither here nor there.
Yeah. Side thing. Still trying to figure out why they cast Keanu as Johnny Silverhand. Still, that was one of those mixed bags for me. I'm like, oh, he's supposed to be this asshole punk rocker boy, but you know how Keanu sounds, right? Very nice man. He is a very nice guy. I would love to shake his hand and pet his dog.
Speaking of nice guys, I know you saw Free Guy. Taika Waititi didn't work for me. I was like, he's too nice. I don't believe it. I don't believe Taika Waititi is an asshole. He's so lovable.
Yeah, I get you. It's hard to sell.
Did you watch Free Guy?
No, but knowing what I know of Taika, yeah, I would be inclined to agree.
Yeah, it's just like he's the one where it didn't fit. I was just like,
yeah,
this movie's fun, but I was like, he's too cartoonishly of a villain to really sell it for me.
Yeah, I think
I enjoyed
that problem.
Did you see Free Guy, Luke?
I didn't, but I was just because you just mentioned Taika Waititi as bad guy, and I was like, I could see myself having a hard time with that too.
Which is like they could have played him straight, and the movie still would have worked. There is, because when I went to see it, and I liked it pretty good, but then there is a part of the movie where it's like, all right, Disney bought Fox, so they can do this.
Yep.
And it hit that it's like
I love that scene. That scene was so good.
I don't even it's whatever the entire opposite of subtlety is. Like imagine you're sitting there and then Mickey Mouse just smacks you with his dick and then smacks you again with a wad of like $1,000 and says, "Remember who owns you." Welcome to the House of Mouse, bitch. Pow!
Like that had to be a reshoot, or if like no, because they filmed it during the.
Yeah,
they filmed it during the
merger.
The whole merger, yeah.
Yeah, so when I saw that, I'm like, oh yeah, because there's also another scene in there where I'm like, I think that's a reshoot where it was where he was talking to like Lil Rel in his apartment and everything.
Oh yeah.
So that one, I'm just like, I think because his hairline looked different in a couple shots. I'm like, I can tell what the reshoots are in some of these. Overall, good. We want to talk the movie and let Luke go before then I guess Aaron and we can talk about. Well, I mean, of the last three topics, Luke, which one did you really want to get into? Did you want to get into What If? Did you want to get into Visions, or do you want to get into Malignant?
Okay, I haven't seen Visions.
Okay,
I don't think I have the energy for Malignant anymore. So
you want to talk about Malignant?
It's so fun.
Maybe next time I'll give brief thoughts on it. But
okay.
I can talk about What If, because I think with What If, big stuff is happening now, and it's worth talking. At least for viewers.
We got 3 episodes. Yeah, maybe we'll leave Malignant and we give brief thoughts on Visions, but we'll save.
I was so ready to beforehand, but I don't have the energy for it anymore.
It's oh man, it's so.
I'll say this: I think people should watch it, but only because
The last third is the best thing ever.
To me, it's incredible that this movie got made. Because I'm
Yes.
just sitting here, I'm just like, wow. Okay.
We forget that like James Wan helps, contribute to like $3 billion franchises separately.
Mm-hmm.
Like I forget sometimes that, oh yeah, this is the dude that made Aquaman, which made $1 billion, and the Saw franchise, multi-million dollars, and the Conjuring franchise, another multi-million dollars.
I'm gonna say this. I'm not gonna elaborate on it until maybe next time. It is, I think, the biggest contender for like a shit post as a movie.
Yes.
It is like
yes.
It feels like a giant joke to me when I was watching it.
It's
and I think I kind of love it for that. I'm not sure. Because I don't know if it's intentional, but that's all I'm gonna say. That's all.
I was having a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun watching it. The girl I was with hated it, and we walked out of the movie.
The girl I was with loved it. We were both ecstatic the whole movie. Like, what was weird was because we were like casually, talking shit during the movie. I called twists in it separately, like as a joke. Earlier in it, I'm like, oh, what if this happened? Oh, what is like? So it's leading there. Okay, so what if that happened?
Spoilers.
I'm not spoiling anything about it. We'll get into it next time. But
okay.
It was weird.
Talk about it if you want. I'm just saying.
Both of them were right. Here's, I'll say this last thing. My favorite part of, I have a lot of things I like about it. My favorite part involves a chair getting yeeted a good 50 feet. You can't tell me you didn't fucking die laughing when the chair gets thrown. Fucking.
Oh my god!
2 people get fucked up by a chair. I've seen football players that can't make throws like that. This was an office chair. Imagine I fucking pick my shit up and launch it. That was one of the best. That, if no other reason, watch it because a chair gets thrown. That's all I'll say. A chair gets thrown, and it's one of the best things ever.
So, yeah, that's Malignant.
I need to rewatch it. That shit is hilarious.
Also, the movie just has some very good cinematography in it. And
yeah, sure.
With the the overhead shot.
That's what I was definitely paying attention to. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not the cancer must be removed.
It's time to cut out the cancer.
Right, that's what it was. Oh man, like it's when
movie is
go
absurd.
into it, you're like, well, what the fuck does that title mean?
Why
would he name it that? That's a weird title for a movie. Let me check it out. All right, let's talk about.
It's like a high budget B movie for sure.
It's campy as shit, and I love it, but I don't want to spoil it for anybody because it's so fucking.
I was willing to put it on the same level as like Freddy Got Fingered.
But I was gonna say Evil Dead,
but I think that's giving it too much credit. I don't know.
It's better than Freddy Got Fingered. It's a shit post.
The intent behind it, because
I think it was camp. I'd put it with.
I don't know, man. It's so dumb, but like I don't know.
I really want an action sequel to this movie.
It breaks its own internal logic, like minutes apart. I think.
Did it?
But, yeah,
I don't know, Will. I don't know. Can I just say this as well?
Mm-hmm.
The house makes no fucking sense.
Like how it's designed?
The house makes no fucking sense.
No, it does. When that one character fell from the attic.
That bitch fell like 15 feet.
That shit was boom. And here's the thing.
Like that house makes no fucking sense.
Oh yeah, the movie's like it's not even 2 hours, but it feels like 3. And for like 50 minutes, you're like, who the fuck is this? Who is this?
Y'all remember
like 2/3 of the movie, and then they reveal it. I'm like, what the fuck?
Y'all remember she went to the fucking asylum or whatever it was, the sanitarium or whatever, to like get some documents, and like she parks like right next to a cliff.
Yes.
And my whole time I'm just like, she's gonna fall off.
Why would you park next to the cliff?
She's gonna have to fall off that cliff, and nothing fucking happened.
It was just James
she
Wan
just
was like,
gets
that's
the
a good
shit
shot.
and she leaves. I was like, what the fuck was the point of it?
It was just a really aesthetic shot for James Wan. But
I need to rewatch that part.
I kind of want to rewatch the movie again, but in a theater full of like people who have never seen the shit, just to get their reactions, especially falling through at least 2 stories through an attic into a living room.
Why did they have Foxy Cleopatra at the end?
I don't know.
At the jail cell.
I don't fuck. Why was that jail cell full of just like rude ass motherfuckers? Why were they all being such dicks?
That whole like last third is absurd. It is.
And it's the 360 shot. It was just
it's
that 360 shot. I was like, that's right. This nigga did Aquaman. It was the same shot from the opening of Aquaman.
It was like,
oh man.
I think it was like when I saw that, I was just like, I don't know if this was on purpose. I don't know if
it was on purpose.
I don't know if
it was
he
absolutely on purpose.
Okay, but like I don't know if he shot it like, oh man, this is gonna be really tense and scary. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way anyone watched that. It was like, this is terrifying.
He watched it and said, I made Warner Brothers $3 billion. I can do what the fuck I want. And James Wan got a rare chance in a director's life where he said, I can do whatever I want. I'm going to do what they think I'm going to do. And then the last third is going to be completely different. And you're watching it, you're like, oh no, it's like, okay, this is tense in some parts. Wow, this is a very interesting explorative story once you get past the first 5 minutes. Like, wow, this is an interesting, this is a deep psychological. Then you get to the jail cell. Oh.
Red Letter Media did a really great review of it. And I think what stuck out to me was that they pretty much nailed it on the head, where it's like, this is like an unofficial remake of Basket Case.
That's what people have been saying. A lot of people have compared
it's pretty much the same
Case.
Story.
I never saw Basket Case.
Yeah,
I remember Basket Case.
Look up Basket Case when you get the chance.
Yeah, I gotta look it up again because that was the comparison. When I was watching, I'm like, oh, it's like Evil Dead, except Evil Dead's problem was they didn't have money, so that was just like that. This one,
there's a couple things. It's one of those movies. The more you think about it, the less sense it makes.
Yeah, I said
but I don't know if that makes it better for me though.
It makes it better for me because you can kind of tell someone that's earnest and they get critiqued and then fucked up and realized fucked it up like oopsie daisy, and then someone's like, oh no, I did this. Millions were sunk into this.
This is mine.
It's like I'm taking credit. Like it, oh boy, it's so
like the watching the murder things makes no sense because especially like the second one they do, you're just like, bitch, how?
The radio thing doesn't make sense. Remember that?
Right? Yes. I'm like, bitch, how? What?
A random super
or how the movie resolves itself.
He just does. He just does.
Oh yeah, the fucking at the end when it's just like, I have the power now.
On that note, I do have to go. I ended up talking about Bad.
Oh, okay.
I ended up talking about Malignant when I shouldn't have.
What are your quick thoughts on What If 5, 6, and 7? Because that's probably where we're going to stop things.
Okay, I'm trying to remember what those were.
What was it? Let's see. Last week was Party Thor. The one before that was King Killmonger.
I think wasn't episode 5 Apocalypse?
I thought episode
was it Zombies?
Was it
Was
zombies?
5 zombies?
I think 5 was zombies.
5 was zombies. 6 was King Killmonger. 7 was
Yes.
Party Thor.
Yeah.
I think we have a Sith Lord Ultron later this week.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right.
But,
So quick thoughts, and I'll probably talk about it a little bit. Whatever.
Yeah, that'll be our last topic.
Didn't like zombies. King Killmonger was cool. It made me really sad with how he was used in Black Panther in general, because I thought he was really cool here. Party Thor was a lot of fun. Party Thor was cute.
Yeah.
I liked Party Thor. Party Thor was fun.
Party Thor was like very cozy. Because I'm like, oh, it's just like it was a nice change of pace. Because I'm like, oh, it is still a what if, but it's like it's probably the first time I've really enjoyed watching Loki. Just like Tom Hiddleston's Loki.
Yeah.
I really don't like that motherfucker. But then just him in Party Thor, I'm like, oh. And then I realized I think that's what it is. He's just an asshole, and I don't enjoy it. Like, he's just, people are like, oh, he's endearing because he's gone. It's like, not really. It's the same reason I'm not. Like, I like Captain Marvel in this episode because they made her less of a dickhead.
Yeah.
Just the sturdy one, the stern.
Yeah,
the
like
party
stern,
pooper.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking, you know what you are? A party pooper. I'm like, all right, okay, you were leading one, which, I think they're talking about in Double Toasted in their review. They're like, do you think that was like slight commentary about the fan base's reception to Captain Marvel? I'm like,
no, they're talking about the smile thing when they said that.
Yeah,
like
but
you
I mean,
should smile
also
more.
this, but also her just kind of being the party pooper in general, because like I'm in the camp. Not for the same reason as everyone else who just like hates Brie Larson, because I just don't think she was a particularly likable character. But I also don't like Loki either. So
right, yeah,
it's not the gender. I just don't really particularly take to how they're written. Oh, but Tony Stark, I'm like, yeah, but I mean, he's an asshole and a drunk and a billionaire. I would expect a capitalist to be an asshole. That
He had a
not the white woman from space who abandons her black girlfriend. Still not over that.
Yeah.
For that
yeah, Tony Stark had a cool arc, and I think it was cool in the Killmonger episode. It shows like what would have happened if he didn't have that event.
He would have still been a dick.
Yeah, he's almost a villain, I think, in a couple parts of that episode, which I thought was kind of cool. Tony like being more of a villain if he doesn't have that life-changing event.
He's still a fucking capitalist weapons arms dealer. So
whoever was playing him as well played him really well.
It felt very consistent with
his homeboy from EMH, I think.
Was it?
I think Mick Wingert. Yeah, Mick Wingert.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's been playing Tony for years.
Yeah,
it was Mick.
Cool.
Yeah, it was Mick.
All right.
Yeah,
cool. I like that, man.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people had complaints about this, but I thought it was a strength of the episode. The fact that like this is one of the one of the what ifs that didn't change a lot of the characters, like a lot of the events, just one minor thing. And the fact that Killmonger was still very much himself through all of these events, I thought was really cool. I really thought that was a strength of the episode.
Which I like that, because I think what it does, like I think Black Panther is a movie humanizes a lot of elements, like both on and off screen, about Killmonger. But like I think in this one it still shows he still has a lot of nefarious intent. And he always did. So kind of leaning more into I think it leans more into the aspect of, a lot of people were talking about how and I still think, in my opinion, he's one of the better villains of the MCU, up there with probably like Thanos and Wenwu and shit like that. But it's like, no, he's still wrong. And had he not, which when we'll get into it in a second, was like, had he not like executed his plan as late as he did, he probably, like, with him going almost so close to the deep end, it made his redemption a lot harder. But he was so, and it was something that we talked about after the episode, he was so fucking young. Remember, this is Tony Stark 2008. That means this was Killmonger 2008. This is like a fresh out of MIT, which, like, even when you looked at the dots, he didn't have it all over his arms either. It was just mostly his chest.
Yeah.
So this is like, I think we did the math. Would have been like early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're in your early 20s, you're just not the best thinker or base of judgment. So this is him being like, I'm doing all of the things, all of the bads. But it's like fucking genius level. And I think it's another thing I liked that they showed more of his intellect. Like he's always been a really good planner, like in the comics. I'm not sure if the movies. I think the movie did an alright job showcasing it, but this one was a lot more like, I guess, clearer to show how smart he was.
He was the Palpatine. He was the little finger of this fucking episode.
Yeah. That's actually not bad.
And like people were confused. It's like, why is Shuri saying? I'm like, it's 2008. It's 10 years apart. So,
all right.
I like King Killmonger. I like this suit. I thought
the only thing, the only issue I took with the episode, which I'm hoping this is something they do expand upon in the sequel to this episode, is that his part of his whole thing is getting to Wakanda to rule and to get revenge for his father, and he didn't even attempt to kill T'Chaka. So I hope that's something that they address in the sequel episode.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. There was a lot of things that Killmonger has to do that I'm thinking they just didn't have the time for in that episode, but that's probably going to be a thing in the second episode. It would have to be.
Who played Eric's dad?
Sterling K. Brown.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Okay. I thought it was Michael K. Williams for a second. I got really sad for a second.
They both got a K. It's
a
understandable.
I mean, rest in peace, Michael K. Williams. That was a sudden and tragic death. God damn.
Yeah, that's really fucked.
But what we talked about those two. Party Thor, good episode. Then the end, I'm like, wait, bitch, what the fuck is this?
The end.
Last 3 seconds, and I'm like,
at the very end, I was just like, oh no, now we have to do crossover stuff. Whatever.
Hope you're ready, Luke, because that's coming on Wednesday. Like, it's a cool image. It was one of the pictures that leaked. I'm like, that's a really cool idea, but I thought it was going to be one of the one-offs.
Yeah, I did too.
I think a strength of the episode is that I'm probably in the minority here, but I really don't like Darcy in the first 2 Thor movies. I like her in WandaVision.
I love Darcy. Everybody hates Darcy. I always like Darcy. She always made me laugh.
I don't think you're in the minority on that, Aaron. Everyone.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, fine.
I'm in the minority because I like Darcy.
But I didn't mind her in this episode, so I'm like, that's a strength.
She wasn't grading. She
actually had a good series of jokes. Why the fuck is Howard only a cameo in these and we're getting a fucking Hit Monkey show? Fuck that. Here's the fucking Howard show, man.
Where's Howard's episode?
Seth Green is too talented. Yeah, where's the Howard episode?
Hey, so I was curious about something. I don't know if they actually explain if there's a thing like timeline wise. Where was the Skarsgård guy? The old dude.
Stellan Skarsgård's character, the professor.
Yeah,
I think he was because they referenced him because she gets like coordinates from him. I guess he just wasn't in Vegas at that time.
Okay.
Oh, I think I watched New Raw Stars video on that, and apparently, so like this was just one of the nights that Jane and Darcy happened to be out there, and he just happened to not be in. Like this wasn't the same night that Thor landed on Earth. It was just a different night. Okay. And I think, as far as I know, the Party Thor episode all takes place in one day.
I think so.
I think
that's why. Days. Oh, it's a couple days. Oh, okay. That makes sense.
But remember, like, because Jane like went to sleep and woke up, so I think it's a couple.
Oh,
days.
you're right. You're right.
Fair enough.
Yeah, a couple days. Also, that fight with Captain Marvel and Thor was dope as fuck.
It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
That was, I want to talk about zombies a little bit because I know, Luke, you aren't the biggest fan. I think
y'all go ahead and I'll chime in whenever.
I think I kind of a little bit mixed on zombies because it's like I think most of it works. I think like the actual zombies part works. I thought Hulk fighting Scarlet Witch is a fight that I never knew I wanted to see. Which I'm like, holy fuck, that's cool. I think the things that you probably don't like, Luke, or things that are like minor for me. Also, Side note, first mention of Uncle Ben in the MCU. Guy that did Peter's voice was very good. Really liked little Strange Parker with the little coat. I kind of like the ragtag team that they assembled of like Bruce Banner, Okoye. Hate that she had to go out the way she did. Hate that T'Challa had his leg being sacrificed because I'm like, because when they showed the Avengers fighting the zombies, I knew that I'm like, well, T'Challa's going to be the safest. He's 100% covered. If they bite it, he's straight. Like, it's not, teeth aren't going to puncture shit. It's teeth.
Of course.
But so it's like, of course, Vision would be like, well, I have magic stone and vibranium skin. So, of course, Vision, which I'm like, well, that sucks. He can't. T'Challa's gotten the short end of the stick in most of these episodes, except for Star Panther.
I would say, as far as T'Challa's inclusion, I was genuinely shocked by how many episodes or how much of Chadwick Boseman got to do before he died. I thought it was only going to be the one episode. I didn't know he did the whole first season, seemingly.
Yeah, I think it came out that he did 4. So we've seen 3 of them. So the last one, I guess, is a cameo in one of the other ones.
Oh, okay. I didn't know he did 4.
So he did a couple episodes. Like, he had his own, and then like a couple pop-ups here. I mean, same thing with like Sam Jackson as Nick Fury. He had a couple, because he had a line in Party Thor. So I'm assuming they probably just had him all do it. Maybe that's why some of the voice direction sounds weird. I'm wondering if they actually had them act together, or if they just gave them their scripts for what they had to say.
I think it's
that might be it, because that's an issue that I've had, and I think Luke, we've talked about it before too. Is like some of the Chris Hemsworth was really good in Party Thor. Yeah, and I think everyone's pretty good in Zombies. Whoever they got for, I can't remember the actor's name for. Like I said, Peter Parker was good. First mention of Uncle Ben in the MCU. The jokes, the humor was like, it was weird. They relegated an obscene amount of like forced jokes onto Ant-Man's character. Like, Paul Rudd is a funny guy, and he could be good at telling jokes, I don't even fucking like Ant-Man, but like, he's not the quip machine that they made him in that episode, which was a very odd choice. So I don't know what y'all think.
It didn't.
What about Aaron? I'm interested.
The episode didn't bother me. I think the only episode so far, I think out of the 7, let me just look at the list again. The only episode that I really took issue with was the whodunit episode, because I feel like they kind of missed the point of a whodunit.
Yeah,
it's definitely because it's just like,
I think that
it was like, oh,
favorite.
The fuck, oh yeah, Hank, the pettiest bastard in Marvel. Next to Doctor Doom.
Yeah, that one is.
Funny enough, on IMDb, the Thor episode is the lowest rated. And I thought it was fun. I thought it was so much fun.
I think I understand why.
It's cozy. Not everything has to be dark and gloomy.
Yeah, I think I understand why, but I think it's like, some people have probably been like, "Oh, this is just a joke episode. It's a waste of time." But
it's like, why don't you have fun? Isn't that what it's like? You kept wanting the MCU to do something serious. It's like, well, MCU's too bright and happy. Okay, well, something dark and gritty. It's too dark and gritty. Okay, here's something happy, fun, and simple. No, like, fucking nerds. God damn it.
Just pick one. Right. No, but to talk about the zombie episode, I thought it was interesting seeing a lot of these different characters in the MCU with their voice actors playing them, that we wouldn't have gotten the chance to see them interacting otherwise.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that much in that aspect of it. I didn't read Marvel Zombies, so I have nothing to compare against. And I know a lot of people thought it should be a lot more serious because it is a zombie apocalypse, but the fun nature of it didn't bother me. This felt like an animated version of the MCU Spider-Man, which is more, reference heavy or like more into pop culture and whatnot. So it didn't kill me, even though it looked nothing like Tom Holland. They didn't even try to make it look like him, but they didn't even attempt.
He
that and his suit wasn't the movie suit. It was like the Marvel. It was
the one he has in the movies. It's the Disney.
Yeah,
one.
it was the Disney suit. The one. Yeah, exactly. Which I like the bigger spider. Like your spider design is great. Just blow it up a bit.
Yeah,
I'm just like, how did he have the better suit for the and the better line for the fucking cartoon where Tom Holland wasn't in it? And I'm like, Tom Holland's great. Why did you give this to the one-off?
They
How did the one-off get this?
They snuck it in under Sony's nose.
It did.
Yeah. Also, a line that made me laugh was what was it? When was a Koi? Was it a Koi that killed Sam? And he's just like, I should be sad, but I'm not.
Yeah.
They really made me laugh.
Like, I think those are funny, but it's just like, dude, it's like you realize, it's like, what's his name? Scott's not always telling jokes, right? Like,
well, he lost his body. He has to find a way to cope somehow. Like, all he has is his jokes now. He has no
but the other jokes in the episode I thought were like, it worked, because even the blam 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 thing, I'm like, oh, okay, it's happy, it's cute. And then like when a zombie, I'm like, okay, now it's like it's funny because zombie go blam blam with the gauntlet. I don't know how the fuck he got killed as quick as he did. But.
Yeah, I think just for me in particular, by the way, Aaron, just to kind of say, Marvel Zombies, the original, is dumb as hell. So like it's I didn't really want it to be like Marvel Zombies the comic because the comic is pretty fucking dumb. But
like when Ash fought Marvel Zombies,
right? But,
it's a good comic.
Yeah,
but
it's a real thing.
Yeah, but
I think there's 2 of them actually.
I think so.
Oh
yeah.
wow!
But the thing for me was just that I don't think it really took advantage of like, what if the Marvel superheroes were put into a zombie like setting, right? Because like I just don't think it really like took advantage of okay, let's say for instance the event Zombie Avengers or something. Like we get that little glimpse at the start where like they're making portals and Iron Man's flying around a couple times, but like I don't think they really went too ham with that. I feel like they should have had like just a bunch of Marvel characters just doing Marvel shit, but they're also zombies. I wanted that to be like the whole thing, but then a lot of it ended up being, all right, we got to get on this train. There's a bunch of zombies all over the place. Hey, that was a funny thing that happened. By the way, Peter, all of your family and friends are fucking dead. You just blasted what's her face in the fucking face, and we're gonna make a joke about it. It was just
trauma tingle.
I don't know. It's not that
You wanted to take the premise more seriously.
I wanted them to do more with the premise, and I think I wanted them to like do more character stuff with them. Because, like you said, these characters never really got to interact in the movies. Like Hope never really got to talk to Spider-Man, and she gets like a kind of touching moment with him. That's for sure. But when you have Agent Carter literally blasting Happy in the fucking face, and she just makes a joke after it, and then on the train, Agent Carter zombie like gets up, and I don't remember exactly what happened. Doesn't he just like fucking
close the door?
Yeah, doesn't he just like punch her off
fucking
something?
Train to Busan her just pink.
Like this was your partner. This was your partner for like a couple of days, Bucky, and she's just expendable, I guess. Whatever. It was just
for me. I feel like the zombie episode is the one that didn't bother me because it felt like a cartoon. I was like, yeah, this is a fun cartoon with the Marvel characters, and I was just like,
fair enough.
Yeah. But I would have. That being said, Luke, I would have liked to see. I love character. I love drama. I would have gladly. I like what we got. I was entertained by what we got. But if the option was presented to get a more serious, character-driven zombie story with the Marvel characters, I would 1,000% choose that.
Yeah.
Which I guess it's like an interesting contrast given how fucking dark the Doctor Strange one was. This one's kind of.
I think that's my favorite one still.
I still think in terms of visuals, it's probably the one that takes the most advantage. But
yeah, absolutely.
I think my two, outside of a couple of episodes, my two primary complaints with the show, one is length. Like zombies could have used a little bit more. And Killmonger, like they both could have used like an extra 10 minutes. Been cool. You can let them be 45 minutes. Party Thor, perfect length. Like, so the lighter stuff probably works better shorter. Darker stuff, you can probably spend a little bit more time with. It's that, and then something that I think Star Wars Visions does fucking phenomenally. I
haven't seen all the episodes. I've seen like 6 of them. 6 of them.
I love the majority of them, and I can at least respect what they were doing. And it's not spoiler for anything. It's just with the concept of Visions, which is similar to What If. Well, actually, no, it's different because Visions is like different stories within the Star Wars universe that aren't really related to other stuff. What If is more like, what if we shift this thing? But I think what they should have taken advantage of, that I think Visions does astoundingly well, is giving different studios the animation.
Yeah.
That's one of my critics, because like this animation style really isn't for everybody, and if you can't, because it looks like the MTV Spider-Man show to me, in terms of it, like just a better version of it.
Though I do think the thing that was trippy for me is that why did Loki look better in the Party Thor episode than he did in the 3rd episode? I thought it looked like,
I don't know,
almost like motion capture.
Yeah,
but he didn't look like Tom Hiddleston in that one. But as the Frost Giant, he looked like Tom Hiddleston.
It was just because it's the superior Loki. That's the best Loki.
Yeah, I think I kind of see what you mean. I didn't really think about it when it was happening, but yeah.
Right. But I think the show could have allotted a little bit more to itself, because it would have kind of Into the Spider-Verse it, allowing a couple different animation studios, like maybe some American ones, to take a shot at doing something for Marvel. Because I think that's another thing that Marvel's just had recent issues with. It's just animated shows just suck. Like, not even getting into details of plot and stuff, just visually. Like Guardian show, the Avengers, reboot, newest Spider-Man show, all just kind of flat and boring. Spider-Man had some really bad designs.
Quick side note. I don't know if you knew that it came out, because I didn't find out until recently, and I haven't watched them all. But they dropped the first 3 episodes of Doom Patrol season 3.
Did they?
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you guys caught up on Doom Patrol?
They also dropped the first 5 episodes of Y the Last Man, another show I need to watch.
Did they?
Oh, same here. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think we talked about it. We're like, hey, did y'all know Why the Last Man is and we keep fucking forgetting. It's fucking Why the Last Man. Something we'd all probably enjoy. It just
right.
I just forgot it happened, because I just know it's been talked about for so long. I just didn't think it has happened.
Just like every other media, Brian K. Vaughan says he's gonna adapt. Like, okay, Brian, sure. Call me when you make that Saga movie. Sorry, that Saga miniseries. Saga, that's Saga anthology. Whatever the fuck you're gonna do with Saga.
Wait, to go back to the side note, real quick, Luke. Will, you saw the first 2 seasons of Doom Patrol, right?
I did. It's quite good.
Okay, I will say I haven't finished it, but I've seen like half of the season 3 premiere, and I will say, because you know why it ended the way it did, right?
Yeah,
like the second season, because of COVID. Yeah, so I'll say because of that, it felt short. I'll say because of that, and them starting a new season, it is unfortunate. That's the only word I can say to describe it. It is unfortunate the way that they have to proceed because of how this season ended.
Oh damn. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, which, like, I get that, because like that last episode was such a fucking cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Yes,
it was.
I was just really disappointed, I think, with season 2 overall. But I think it was
like my favorite character was Street.
Can I give a minor spoiler for the season premiere?
Yeah, minor spoiler for Doom Patrol season 3. I mean, are you cool with it, Luke?
I'm fine. Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah. They
please tell me they don't kill the Street, man.
What?
Tell me they don't.
I won't say how, and I won't say the context. but they wrap up the season 2 finale in the first 5 minutes.
Oh, do they?
Oh fuck.
Oh, dude. Damn.
Oh, that's kind of intimidating.
Damn.
What, they just blow out the flame, just wait.
I will tell you how. I want to tell you what happens.
Wait! Wait! No! It was a joke!
No, that's not what happens. That's not what happens.
Oh god.
No, that's not what happens.
Fucking robot man just there. Now we're not dying anymore.
Okay.
Two.
I will temper my expectations.
I will too.
As you should.
God, I
We'll
fucking
talk
love
about
that
next week
street.
though.
All right, we'll talk.
I should. Yeah, I should. I'll try and watch it between now and then.
I will try to watch that, and I'll try to watch Why the Last Man.
Yeah, I'll try and watch Why the Last Man. That's a matter of dedicating like 5 hours of my time.
Yeah.
I think that's a hard.
Fucking
I want to
Squid
watch
Games,
Why the
too.
Last Man. I
That's
need
also-
time.
Yeah, that's also a thing that I would suggest reading after watching it. Because Why the Last
Yeah.
Man is
Oh,
really
okay.
good.
Okay.
That's what I
Will
did
do.
with Invincible. Is I watched it and then I blitzed through the entire series in 3 days.
Yeah.
Because it was that fucking.
Good God.
It legitimately is probably the best superhero comic ever made, even with its flaws.
And
Wow.
It's my
That's
opinion.
a bold claim. That's a big claim.
It is.
Yeah.
It is a
Yeah.
bold claim.
I am going to make a probably controversial statement. I don't know. The Boys, I would suggest watching the show and never picking up the comic.
You'd be right.
That's not a controversial statement. I feel like a
I-
lot of people feel that way.
I like that comic a lot. It is very much early 2000s, and as such, it is like, okay, sure, that's a thing that you can put into a comic, I guess. It's rough. It's rough reading that back.
The weirdest one I'd say is like if you've watched watch Wanted and played its sequel game Weapons of Fate, and then read the comic and you're like, "Boy, what the fuck is this?"
That's pretty much with any. That's pretty much with any Mark Millar.
Right.
Thing, so.
Any adaptation of Mark Millar, well, except for poor Aaron, the only one who watched Jupiter's Legacy.
I did watch. Did I watch Jupiter's Legacy? I did.
You forgot
That's
you
the only
watched
person. Oops. Oh, oops. Because at first I think Jupiter's Ascending.
Boy.
I was like, did I watch Jupiter's Ascending? I was like, no, yeah. I'm the only person on earth that
Legacy.
watched that.
Boy, what an
Jupiter's
impact!
Legacy.
It's like, oh, oops, I did watch it. Like it was. Damn,
That's right. That's right.
Fell into
I
that
experienced that.
comatose state and watched a piece of Mark Millar's adaptations.
Right.
The fact that Wanted might be the best one, which is weird because it's not at all like the original. The original is Eminem and not Eminem and not Rihanna fucking had to curve bullets in a world where a bunch of supervillains killed all of the DC heroes.
Yeah.
And then the story keeps going.
Yeah. At any
It's a
rate.
weird book, but that's most of his book. But Millar wasn't The Boys, was he? Who was that?
No, that was Garth Ennis.
Man, can you imagine how fucking ghoulish a tag team between Millar and Ennis would be? It'd just be like people being sexually assaulted, and then God isn't real. Politics is a scam. Like that just be the whole book for 90 pages.
Okay, yeah. Just to explain myself, the Boys book.
It's not.
You have superheroes that are like shoving gerbils up their asses, and they're skull fucking like the presidents of the United States head.
Sure, that's not crossed.
It's a very different story, and I don't think it's worth reading.
It's the
just a little extreme. Just a little.
Better.
It's a little bit.
Just
at the very least, what's his name?
Homelander.
Yeah, Homelander fucking jerks off over the city, so
that's just reason enough.
Is he doing the show too?
Exactly. Yeah, that fits for him to do that. Not necessarily ripping someone's head off. At least not yet. skull fucking doesn't make sense yet, but he's probably going to get there at some point.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
you know, somebody got choked out by fucking Monkey D. Luffy's dick. So
that's right. I keep forgetting that.
What?
There is still depraved shit in The Boys, but The Boys I think is much better written than.
I still, even though I like the girls get it done scene from Avengers, I also love the girls get it done scene from The Boys. I'm just like, yes, this is the. I'm like, what are your politics? 3 women stomping out a Nazi.
Yeah. I think The Boys.
That's feminism.
if you're tired of like the superhero bullshit in like movies and stuff, I think The Boys is like a nice palate cleanser for it.
Yeah,
because it's very cynical, and I like that about it. All right.
I think of the
On that note,
I think that's a good place for us to. I mean, this is probably where we're going to end the show.
Oh, okay.
Where can people find you at?
Oh, yeah. Shit. Sorry.
A cold sip.
Just a sip.
Okay, I'm on Twitter at Luke A. the VA. I've got a website coming. I'll probably drop that the next time that this, as Linkara says, it'll be out when it's out, and we'll do it then.
God.
But,
top the fourth wall where bad comics burn. I wonder if you.
I only know the fucking it'll be out when it's out. I don't know anything.
Yeah, when it's. I work on Power Rangers, and I have the time.
This is how
be out when it's out.
This is how you know I'm delirious. But yeah, you can follow me on Twitter right now. Whenever I get my Instagram working, whenever I get my other shit working, you can follow me on that. But until then, Twitter is the way to go.
Yeah. Aaron, where can people find you at, man?
You can find me at The Real Aaron Alexander on Instagram and at Aaron Alexander 34 on TikTok.
34 or 64?
Yes. No, it's 34.
34.
34, love.
And I've been your host, Will the Greatest. You can find me on my social media, basically YouTube and Instagram, at Will the Greatest. Also, don't forget to follow us on
64. Instagram. It's 64. I lied. I'm a liar.
I knew
64.
Aha! The fact that I knew it, and I'm not even on the TikTok.
Oopsie.
Yeah, make sure you follow the show, rate the show, share the show with your friends. Is this episode 50?
I don't know. It's your show.
No, and I'm trying to. It's been damn near a month since I've recorded anything, but it might be episode 50. But yeah, follow us on Instagram at Atlas Comics Elite. That's ATLAS Comics Elite on Instagram, where I need to post more. But now that I actually, have an episode, I'll have to share this and let people know. But yeah, you can follow me on my own social media at Will the Greatest. I don't believe we have any questions this week. Waru sent us a couple questions in the past, but yeah, I think that's gonna do it for us this week. So we will see you. It is episode 50. Oh shit!
Yeah.
50.
Look, it's been 50 episodes, and if I do 2 more, it'll be 52. It'll be a year's worth of episode. We can enter syndication. Yeah, we're halfway to 100. Hopefully, I can find some stability in my life and be more consistent. Because doing emotional labor is labor too. With that being said, we'll see you all next time. Stay lovely. Drop us some comments with the hashtag AskAce for your questions, and we will answer them on the show. And next time, maybe we will talk some Malignant. Okay, all right. Bye.
Later.